Okay, hear me out. I'm positive that Mortal Kombat 1 was originally going to be Injustice 3. And there's more than one reason that led me to believe this. Like Ed Boon himself randomly mentioning so in an interview.
I've learned your secret.
So, elation and jubilation, gamers from all around the world. I am Lucian and this is the World Gamer Show. And today, I'm going to tell you why Mortal Kombat 1 was actually planned to be Injustice 3.
Get over here!
So, the rumor that MK1 was not the original plan and that it was originally going to be the long-awaited third chapter in the Injustice DC fighting game series is nothing new. But honestly, this is even more than just a rumor at this point. As confirmed by the man himself, Ed Boon, at the Jeff Gertzman show back in June 2023, where he said, as reported in this article by The Gamer magazine, "We made the decision to go to Unreal before the COVID hit, so we committed to that decision. The thought was that if we did an Injustice game, it would have taken even longer and been 7 years between MK games. So we said, okay, let's do another Mortal Kombat game. And it was also something we wanted to do to showcase the new graphics engine. The plan is to go back to Injustice." I don't know about you, but the way I see it, this is a confirmation that they were indeed planning for an Injustice 3 release before MK1. Because it sounds like he's clearly trying to justify giving MK the priority here, where he explains that for multiple reasons they decided to go with MK1 instead.
What do you think you're doing?
Now, you don't just say something like this lightheartedly. When the man himself in a way confirms that they wanted to develop Injustice 3 before MK1, you can believe him, especially because there are many signs showing that this is actually the case. First, the chromatic palette is way brighter and more colorful than any MK ever was. I mean, MK has always had a very definite art direction, which depending on the episode can be very exotic and Shaolin-esque, or very urban-y. Man, I'm making up terms as I go here. But one thing is certain, and we can all agree upon, is that Mortal Kombat is dark. I mean, even the series name implies it. So to see these graphics so cartoony was a little bit jarring at first. Now, maybe I should have said it sooner, but I'm a huge MK fanboy. So anything MK you throw at me, I will probably love it. And I do love this MK1, I just find it so weird. It's art style, I mean. Look at the environments. They seem taken straight from Injustice and repurposed for MK1 for how bright and shiny they look. I mean, I know that Fire God Liu Kang has basically established a whole different universe, and I think this is such a convenient excuse to justify this new look and feel, because it's not just the graphics or the art style. The second most glaring thing is in the gameplay, and it's actually two things: the animations and the cameo system. Now, I think we should all agree that if you played Injustice 2 and look at MK1, even if you didn't play MK1 yet, I think you can see that some animations are pretty similar to Injustice 2. Like the start above the fatal blow here seems to me completely taken straight from Injustice 2. Which would make more sense if NetherRealm was actually developing a sequel to that game, hence Injustice 3. But these are details. I mean, it happens all the time when going to a new sequel to reuse some assets. After all, we are talking about the same developers for the two series. So let's move on to the other thing, the cameos. Cameos are really not that new to the fighting game genre. I love the idea of cameo fighters where they simply jump in for a few seconds to either distract the opponent with a vicious attack or to even help you out with keeping a combo going. And I love this idea ever since the first Marvel vs. Capcom, which by the way is a superheroes fighting game with tons of Marvel characters. See where I'm going? This idea is so conceptually fitting for a DC fighting game that it hurts me that they didn't want to wait to show it for the next Injustice. I really wish that they held on to that until Injustice 3 came out. Just imagine the impact it would have had. I mean, I still love this idea on MK because you can have guests upon guests. Like, I would have never imagined we would have seen someone like Stryker ever again, and instead, here he is. And it doesn't even bother me because He's just there as a cameo. I can ignore him like I always did. Poor Striker though, no justice for him. Not for me anyway.
No one knows what it's like to be hated.
But you want more?
I can go all night.
Don't even get me started on the trash talk, the clash talk between the characters before starting the match in MK1. They are literally lifted from Injustice. And I love it, by the way. But I guess you get my point. And that's not even taking into consideration the cycle that NetherRealm got us used to, with alternating between MK and Injustice cyclically every 2 years. I get COVID, I truly do. Its impact is still being felt throughout the industry. And safety first. I'm in the IT industry myself, so I promise I do get it. But the fact that the game comes out this early, in spite of that, I mean, how did they manage to set the release so early? Not that I'm complaining, if they didn't have at least part of the job ready. And that part makes total sense to be the base for Injustice 3. I rest my case. I mean, what more evidence do you need?
Enough!
All of this points to the fact that MK1 was truly supposed to be Injustice 3. Also as implicitly confirmed by the man himself at Boone. And I'm also glad that he did confirm that the next plan is to go back to Injustice. And if anything, I'm just glad that Injustice 3 will look probably even better than MK1 does at the current state, so I'm sure it will be worth the wait. But this is just one guy's opinion on the internet, so now I want to know yours. What do you think of all this? Do you think there is enough evidence that MK1 was originally planned as an Injustice game? Does it even matter at this point? What did you make of Mortal Kombat 1? Do you like its new, more cartoony aesthetic? Or would you rather go back to a darker tone? I think it still has its charm, and I am intrigued by the mix of this series with some aspects of Injustice, and will most definitely buy the game after it comes out. And I was excited to hear that it would come out in 2023, much sooner rather than later. I also look forward to see how this new timeline created by Liu Kang will evolve. Aren't you curious? Share your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. This way you will be up to speed with my latest content, and you will also help a fellow gamer out. Come on, it's free! But really, I just want to thank you so much for spending some of your precious time watching this video to the end. I will be seeing you in my next one, but until then, stay safe, play safe, world gamers.